Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed the video that I previously posted concerning the topic we are moving with, calculus. Remember that we haven't finished this main topic. We are still solving it, and today we are going to do the last part of differentiation, which is finding the coordinates of the point. So we are going to focus much on how to find the coordinates of the point as the last point or subtopic under differentiation. Remember to subscribe to this channel so that you receive each and every information. Everything that will be posted on this channel you'll be able to receive and make use of it, benefit out of it for free. Nothing is chargeable. You are able to access this information freely. So let's jump to today's work. Like I've said, today we are looking at how to find the coordinate of the turning points. Okay, this is our work here. How do you find the coordinates of the turning points? So remember that in coordinates, you need to have the values of x as well as the values of y. Together, you are going to make a coordinate. So what do I mean? I mean to say you need to have x, y. Okay, you need to have x, y. So those will represent coordinates. So what I'm trying to say is this. What I'm trying to say is this here. Okay. So what I'm saying is, for you to say these are coordinates, you need to have something like x, y. X, y. So this one here. Okay, hope you'll be able to see it. Just zoom it. Okay, this is what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I mean here. So x, y, so meaning here I mean to say have coordinates where x represents the coordinate of the x axis and then y represents the coordinates in the y axis. Okay, so now having said that, so for you to be able to find the coordinates of the points, first of all, you are going to be given the curve or a function. On that function, remember that you need to differentiate that function first. Find the derivative to that function. After finding the derivative to that function, that's when you can go on and find the coordinates. So the first step is to differentiate it. So now let's differentiate this curve. We've been given that curve there. Y is equals to 2x cubed minus 3x squared minus 36x minus 3. So where the gradient is 0, they have specified to say we do not have a value gradient, but the meaning it is stationary. That's why we have gradient as 0. So since we have the gradient as 0, so now how can you solve that particular question? So remember that you need, first of all, you need to differentiate it. So when you're differentiating 2x cubed minus 3x squared minus 36x minus 3, you are going to get this here. You're going to get 6x squared minus 6x minus 36. 3 there is a constant, so it is as same as 0, so we cannot add 0. So it will just give us 6x squared minus 6x minus 36. So now after differentiating it, after differentiating the curve, you need now to transform that curve to quadratic equation. You need to transform that, the curve that we've differentiated, you need to transform it to quadratic equation. How do you transform into quadratic equation? Well, so for you to transform that to quadratic equation, all you need to do is just to let y to be equal to 0. Just let y to be equal to 0. So when you let y to be equal to 0, meaning here where there is dy dx, you're just going to replace it with 0, and then it will give you this new equation. So it will give you 6x squared minus 6x minus 36 is equal to 0. So now after transforming it to that, you know that you can see that there's a number which can go into 6x squared, 6x minus, and 36 without leaving a remainder. So what I'm doing there is just to simplify it. What I'm doing here is just to make it as simple as possible. So since 6 can go into 6, can go into 6 again, and 36, I can divide throughout by 6 so that I remain with the simplified equation. So when you divide 6 into 6x squared, I'll remain with x squared. Okay, I'll remain with the x squared minus 6 into 6x, I'll remain with x here, I'm here. Okay, I'll remain with the x, and then the 6 here. 6 into 36 is 6, so I'll have negative 6 is equals to 0. So now once I have this, meaning I'm going to now use, remember that here you can use either factorization method, completing of square method, or quadratic formula method. When you just reach here, when you reach at this stage, you can use either factorization method, quadratic formula, or completing of square method. So now for me, I'm using factorization method. So when you decide to use factorization method, you can, meaning you need to find the sum, product, and the factor. I repeat, if you use factorization method, you need to find the sum, product, and factor. So now how do you find the sum? The sum is just found by identifying this number here. You see where there is x there. That will give you the sum, meaning just a number between two, the variable between two terms. The first term there is x squared. The second one is x. The third is negative 3. So now the term which is in between the two, it will give you the sum. So hence there I have negative 1. Then product. I find a product by multiplying a times b. In this case, my a will be where there is where there is x squared, and my c is negative 6. So I'll multiply where there is x squared is the same as 1x squared. So I'll say 1 times negative 6, which is my c, to give me negative 6. So that negative 6 is my product. That negative 6 is my product. So now what has remained is factor. So factor, these are two numbers in such that when I multiply them, it should give me the product. When I add, it should give me the sum. So what are those numbers? So in this case, I can use 2 and negative 3. In such that when I multiply 2 times negative 3, it will give me negative 6, which is my product, like you can see in this cylinder here. And then 2 plus negative 3, positive times negative, it will give me negative. Then 2 plus 2 minus 3 to give me negative 1, which is my sum. So this is how you find the factor and sum. And then you remember that you should bear in mind that these factors that we've found, it should satisfy that equation, else it will give you something different. So what do I mean? When now you get the factor and sum and you place them where there is x, as you can see, that 2 there is here, okay, and then negative 3 is there. So now when I replace where there is x here, where there is x, I'll put now 2 and negative 3. It will take us here. So after taking us there, you need to group now. Grouping of terms. So after grouping of terms, you need to find, now you factorize. Remember that I'm using factorization method. So I need to factorize that expressions or equation. So when you factorize, I'll need to find the common factors. So here, have you seen that? X squared plus 2x. That is an expression on its own. So I need to factorize that one first. So when you look at that one, a letter which is common there is x. X is common, so I'll say x, open bracket, x into x squared, squared of x, plus x into 2x, I'll remain with 2. X and x will cancel, his answer will remain with 2. Minus, when you come here, there, 3 minus 6. What is common there is 3. 3 into 3x, I'll remain with x, plus negative 3 into negative 6, it will give me positive 2. So now when you look at this part, you'll be able to notice that these variables, these terms inside the bracket, they're the same. Here I have x plus 2, again in the next bracket I have x plus 2. Hence, that simplifies to say, or it tells me to say my factors are correct. If my factors were not correct, I wouldn't have gotten the same values here, or the same terms inside bracket. So since I've gotten the same terms, that means my factors are correct. So after you are done with that part, you come to the next part. So you're going to get those terms inside bracket. In this case, I have x plus 2. And then I multiply it with I'll say x plus 2 in bracket, and then I'll get the terms outside bracket, which is x minus 3 there, then equals to, remember that it is an equation, equals to 0. After now you have that, at this stage we call it zero product. It is called zero product because you need to equate each term in the bracket, or the unit in the bracket, you equate it to 0. So in this case I will say x plus 2 is equals to 0, and also x minus 3 is equals to 0. That's why it's called zero product. So now when you get that one, it will take us here. Okay, we'll have that. X plus 2 is equals to 0, and the x minus 3 is equals to 0. So now solve for x. Definitely where there is x plus 2, when you solve for x, it will give you negative 3. Negative 2. It will give you negative 2. And also x minus 3 is equals to 0. It will give you positive 3. So hence we have the values of x. All we need to do is just to find the values of y. So now let's find the values of y. How do you find the value of y? So you actually find the value of y by equating these values of x onto the curve that we've been given. Remember that our curve is this curve here. This is our curve. So that curve would direct us to find the values of y. How? By replacing x with its value. The first value is -2. The second value is +3. So we are going to start with the first value, which is -2. So wherever there is x on this function or curve, we are going to replace it with the -2. So now when you replace that, it will take us here. So where there is x, I'll put -2. Again, where there is x on 3 there, I'll put -2. On 36 there is x, I'll put -2. When you multiply that, it will give you this. You can try it using your calculator. There's no problem about that. You can try it, you can try it, you can try it. It's even better. If at all I've made a mistake, you'll be able to see that mistake, but I'm accurate enough. I don't make mistakes here and there. Okay, so y is equals to -16 minus 12 plus 72 minus 3. So that is what we have gotten. And then when you punch those figures or numbers on your calculator, definitely it will give you 41. It will give you -41. So that -41 represents the value of y. Remember that we have two values of x. Hence we need to also to find the two values of y. Are we together? So to find the other value of y, we are going to say, okay, since we have the value, since we have the value of x, the second value of x as 3, we are going to say when x is equals to 3, then we are going to substitute, we are going to substitute that value, which is 3, onto the same curve. So this curve, we are going to put now, remember that in first place, we used -2 as first value, and then we are done with -2. So we are going to +3. So wherever there is x onto that curve, we will replace it with the +3. So when you substitute x with +3, it will take us, it will bring us in here. So we're going to say 2 open bracket 3 cubed minus 3 open bracket 3 squared minus 36 times 3 minus 3. So when you punch those figures or numbers on the calculator, it will give us this number here. Y is equals to 54 minus 27 minus 108 minus 3. Again, when you punch those, it will definitely give us -84. Hence, we have two values of x, we have two values of y. So therefore, you can conclude to say the coordinates of the points to the curve y is equals to 2x cubed minus 3x squared minus 36x minus 3 are 2, -41 and 3, -4. I mean 3, -84. So these two represent the value of x. That first value of x that we've used to find the value of y, which is -4. And then this -4 represents the value that we just calculated using +2. 3 represents the value of x. And then -84 represents the value of y. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you find the coordinates of the points to the given curve. Any curve that will be given, you'll be able to solve that particular question without any difficulties. All you need to do is just, first, you need to differentiate your curve. After differentiating your curve, you need to transform that curve to quadratic function. After transforming it to quadratic function, ladies and gentlemen, you can use any method. You can use factorization method, you can use completing of square method, or you can use quadratic formula, commonly known as Chibas formula, to solve and find the value of y. I mean the value of x in the first place. Thereafter you can find the value of y. After finding the value of y, then you are going to say you use the first value of x against the value of y. Same applies on the next coordinate. So that is how basically you can find the coordinates of the point. So you can do this exercise. And if you feel comfortable, if you want to check how you can do this particular question, you can write it and then solve. After solving, you can send your answer to my WhatsApp line learning on the screen, so that I see to it and send you the result, so that you are able to see how you can how you are performing or how good you are in calculus. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope these videos are encouraging, educating, and informing you also. Remember that we're not just going to do this particular topic and then we end it there, but it's ongoing lesson. So if you are interested, please subscribe to the channel and also press on the bell ring so that you receive information whenever I post something on this channel. Otherwise, I appreciate your support that you always show to my channel by liking the videos, subscribing, and also sending your messages via WhatsApp to say you are doing a great job. Thank you so much. I appreciate.